Greetings, fiends. You know, if the Misfits are kind of the body of horror punk, horror rock, then the Rosedales are the soul. Pure and simple. So check it out tonight on the Midnight Chamber. It's a great day when I get to talk about the Rosedales. I mean, they're not a day one band. We all know the day one bands. I mean, you go from the Misfits down to Blitzkid, Calabrese, the Other, probably the Cramps, maybe the Murder Dolls, Rob Zombie. I mean, those are kind of day one bands that get you into any of the sci-fi horror-ish type music. When you dig deep, that's when you get into the stuff that just is so good. Dare I use the term hidden gems? I mean, if you were to label a horror, spooky, whatever band as a hidden gem, the Rosedales are that. I mean, they are one of easily the best kept secrets to the dismay of the entire world. This band is fucking amazing. They are pure independent. They take forever putting records out. I think this record, Raise Your Spirits, their first LP, came out in 2003 on Shallow Grave Records. They're a Chicago-based band. 2003. Their next record came out in something like 2010, 2011, and they just hit the studio for their third record. So 7-8 years between records. I mean, but every single one is quality. Beyond quality. I mean, knockout, top to bottom records. The Rosedales were in the 90s called the Onlys, obviously after Jerry Only. But they are by no means a Misfits rip-off band. I mean, they wear that sleeve, the Misfits love on their sleeve. They'll say that. It's one of their biggest inspirations. But how would I explain this? Well, first of all, before I get too deep into this, let's go ahead and cut right here, take a look at the album, and then we'll come back and get into a little topic of conversation. All right, the Rosedales, Raise Your Spirits. Tell me that artwork is not just phenomenal. I mean, it's all kinds of... It's campy and creepy, but classic, but also embodies the music just perfectly. That logo is just killer as well. And the inside, you get a note. And then all the people who worked on the record. And there's an awesome shot of the band. And then the actual CD itself. This was always... I think Shallow Grave Records is owned by the band. It seems very self-released in all the good ways. A picture of one of the members' hearses. They had this... Probably still do have this neat hearse. You can see it in the It's Midnight video, which I'll post in the description. And then the back changes things up just slightly. This just makes such a cool poster. I really want a Rosedale poster. The artwork on this record is amazing. I mean, you saw the close-ups of it. Mark DeFors did the artwork for the record, and I mean, dare I say iconic? At least it should be within the genre. If anything, I would really like to have it a big print of that. It's fantastic. Before I get too far, you can still buy the record for $10 from the Rosedales on therosedales.com. You can get their second record as well. What to say about this album? I mean, Sean Sutton, the engineer and the mastering guy, he kind of did the whole shebang, engineered it, mixed it, and mastered the whole thing. He worked art on this. I mean, this is fantastic. The only way to explain what this band sounds like and how they recorded everything is, stay with me on this one, the Misfits meet Boston. Yes, the band Boston. They have some of the most epic 3-part harmonies that just blend so well. I mean, the only way to put it is the Rosedales are fucking horror punk soul food. I mean, it's that home cooking mashed potatoes and fucking chicken and just like it's whatever you have at your mom's house that just makes you feel like just oh so good. That's what the Rosedales are to horror punk. I mean, you can listen to all this other harsh stuff, but I mean, there are certain records you can put on and just it's automatically just like Zen time. Like you want to sing, you're having a great time. And the Rosedales are one of those bands. And God forbid if some of you people have not heard of the Rosedales, stop what you're doing. Just stop. The links are in the description. You just go, you listen, and I guarantee you're going to want to pick the record up. Both records for that matter. Man, what a killer band. And yes, I'm an enthusiastic fan. I always have been from day freaking one. I think I got the record in late 2004, early 2005. It was love from day one. I think I probably listened to the singles on. Honestly, I don't even know where I found the band. Could have been mp3.com. Could have been one of the various message boards. Don't know. Don't care. Happy I've known about them all these years. I'm sure a lot of people found out about them through on their second record. There's a song called Nightgown that was put on a whole ton of compilations. I'm pretty sure it was put on the Fiend Force This Is Horror Punk 2 compilation, and it was also on the Horror High Prom Queen Massacre compilation. Probably various other places. That song turned a lot of people on, but seriously, It's Midnight, Frozen Ghost off the first record, both of those songs, killer. I mean, just the whole record is killer top to bottom. And honestly, there's not a lot more to say about that. I don't have any great stories. I know the one time I could have gotten to see them play, and I always wanted to see them play with Blitzkid, and as far as I know, they only did a couple of shows like that. And one was in, I think, Johnson City, Tennessee, with the Rosedales. It was Blitzkid, the Rosedales, and possibly the Big Bad. Might have been before the Big Bad were really bopping around. I know the Big Bad's been around since '04, but I don't remember when that show was. I just remember there was a big hubbub about it because everyone in the community had been hyped about those two bands getting together, playing. Everybody wanted to tour. Hell, the Rosedales wanted to tour with Blitzkid if they were going to ever do a full tour, which I don't believe they have. I mean, they stuck regionally to the Chicago area, hitting random shows here and there, but nature of the beast when it comes to music anymore. Not just horror punk, but music in general. Yeah. The Rosedales. I honestly can't even tell you what a standout track on this is going to be for me because I love them all. Cemetery Sock Hop is fantastic. Cool Black Moon. Obviously, It's Midnight. The video for It's Midnight is amazing and both campy but also extremely awesome. It was one of up there in like the first 3 or 4 music videos I ever remember seeing for this particular like scene, genre, whatever. It was just awesome. It's moody. It just embodies everything you would want out of a very spooky, atmospheric kind of album. And I think that's what really, one reason I hate the term horror punk is because not all the horror bands are punk. Sure, punk is at this point influence on damn near every genre, period. You want that aggression, you want all of that. And really what I look for in some of this music is atmosphere. I want just the tonal qualities, the songwriting, just everything to just give me that kind of really spooky but fun tone, which, you get more of that harsh, heavy sound from the German bands. The metal influence stuff is a whole different vibe. The surfy stuff can really, that brings in a whole different flavor. The ghastly ones, Mumula, Geen and the Grave Robbers, that kind of stuff is, it's a whole other different vibe. Very fun, very campy. But the Rosedales have this. It's haunting. It's haunting. Best way I can describe it. And that's really, I think, what they were going for. I mean, Sutton he knocked it out of the park with the mood. Obviously, the band wrote the songs, but everyone knows that the engineer is what really just takes those songs and shapes them. It's like a sculptor sticking his hands in clay and just forming the most epic just sculpture. I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I really am. This album's kick-ass. Yeah. So dig it. Go get it. You can still get it. There's no reason not to get this. I do have one small story. I remember in college, I was in a music theory class, and we got to bring in records to listen to, and the class was diverse as all hell. I mean, you had people who just listened to, mainstream pop, down to some guys I knew who were really into stoner and doom and like 70s rock. And then there's me. I brought in the Rosedales. I brought this record in, and we listened to, I think, either It's Midnight or Frozen Ghost. I think that those were one of the. I wanted some of the more accessible songs on it, and I remember a couple people digging it, but at that point, I mean, I was just. It's the feeling of being in the hot sun and getting that ice cream and just sitting under a tree and cooling off. Like, it's that feeling. Haunting. So maybe sitting under the tree with the moon shining on you eating an ice cream. But there's always ice cream. Always. So anyway, yeah. Maybe that's what Frozen Ghost is about. Maybe that's about ice cream. Never eat your dead friends. It's probably a bad idea. Anyway, Rosedales, raise your spirits. I know my spirits are raised. So check me out next time on the